This week on Coffin Fodder, what the fuck are we doing? Well, we're talking about movies that we're never going to talk about. So, stick around.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 30 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Warby, and I am joined by the man who eats a human centipede for breakfast, Mr. Pat the Mithelborough.
Okay.
And
All right.
I was pretty proud of that one.
You should be.
And our good friend who loved him some Ernest, scared stupid, Mr. Brady Silger.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And the reason I wrote that as your little intro thing there is because we're talking about movies that we're not going to be talking about on the podcast. And that's actually how I ended up on that conversation.
Yeah, because Brady's been talking a lot about Ernest Scared Stupid, and we've all kind of been like, well,
Doesn't count, right? And I don't think it does.
I don't think
I think it's too silly to count.
It is, but like as a kid, that there are scenes in it that scared the shit out.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, as a horror touchstone for a young kid, that makes a lot of sense. I just think, like, you need a real sense of, and this is something I think we'll be coming back to in this episode a lot. Is for me, what counts as horror needs to be legitimately scary, and there needs to be like legitimate stakes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And like, you know, some of the movies we talk about are fairly heavy. There needs to be like a baseline.
Yeah.
Like we talk about, for example, the last one, my last pick, It Comes at Night, where there's children being killed, and then to go from that down to like Ernest Scared Stupid, it's that, you know, there's quite a contrast. That's
From alien kids to a kids movie that we're
going to give people whiplash.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think even though Critters and Gremlins are on that line too,
Yeah, for sure.
I think what makes them pass is that the creatures kill at least one person.
I think that is probably somewhere good to start. So yeah, someone, at least, a person needs to be off in the movie.
Well, that way, and if you would think so, but like the Shining, Stephen King, like if it wasn't Kubrick's version, nobody would die in that whole story, which is crazy.
And I mean, I guess that's a great point. Is what are the prereqs for being a horror film?
Yeah, I think Psycho only has 2 deaths in it, which is surprising.
So you said there's only a handful of deaths in those films even combined, but they're 2 of the famous and probably arguably scariest movies of all time, right?
Yeah, all-timers, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Psycho will be an episode of the future because Psycho is just such
One of us is picking it.
and another touchstone that we just have to come on eventually. But since we started there, I think we might as well stay in this category for now. Like, what are movies that could maybe be discussed, but we don't? For me, I mentioned to you guys off air, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Right.
It has Demon right there in the title. I'm like, oh, that might count. But I watched it and I'm like, this is
Not even close.
yeah, I'm like, it's too silly. Like, the design of the demons is too silly.
Yeah.
There's no, like, nothing scary happens in that movie.
No, it just has the word demon in it.
Yeah.
And it's and for similar reasons, I think, I think it was off air, but we talked about doing Critters 2 and Gremlins 2. We even talked about doing it as like a putting them against each other and discussing the differences between the 2 of them again and against the originals. But realistically, neither of those movies necessarily needs to be talked about, right? So now, like,
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen Gremlins, the new batch.
Yeah.
And that movie, I think, again, that movie's just way too silly.
yeah, it's not only is it too silly, but it's like I think all of them, they're pretty bare bones on the horror elements and a lot more on the slapstick.
Yeah, I didn't think, even as a kid, I didn't find Gremlins too scary.
No.
The scariest I got is when the Spider Gremlin and the Gargoyle Gremlin came out. Those ones, I thought, right, a little scary, but that, that's like at the age of like 7 or something.
So yeah, like with the original Gremlins, you can tell it's more horror than the sequel.
sure.
The sequel's more Looney Tunes, as where Critters went from more gory and the more kills in the later films, but they also started going sillier and sillier with the way people die.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's probably the best way to put it is, there's more gore, but they also upped like the slapstick of it. It's silly shit. Yeah.
See, and Leprechaun would fall into those categories as well.
I think movies like Chucky fit that category.
Yeah, I think those count. It's just they're cuspy. They're cuspy because they're so silly.
Yeah, they're slapstick slasher film.
I think the first Child's Play movie would be the only one to cover if we were gonna do one. The rest of them you could kind of just because most people have seen all those movies.
And I think they all count as horror. It's just is there enough interesting things here to talk about?
Right, yeah.
Which is a baseline that we've kind of already settled on when we kind of don't have anything
Well, yeah, because, full disclosure here, team, we've talked about, like, we did Mayhem, we did Babysitter, those were my picks. We've done some of Brady's picks, like, I can't think right off the bat. Milo was that, Milo is a great Scandals also.
That was our episode that was like 20.
Yeah, exactly. Brain Scandal was good. I think there was enough to talk about it. But even, like, for example, Mayhem is a pretty fucking fun movie. Tons of gore happening in it, even if it's not very horror-related gore. It's not necessarily scary. But it's like we struggle to talk about it because it's not doing anything. Yeah, right? So,
Yeah, just a violent workplace satire kind of thing.
exactly.
It'd be like us doing one of the Saw movies where it's only like there's a little story and then the rest is just
Right.
torture porn and
So then it's like, we're just going to describe the kills to you guys? Yeah. You can go watch the movies.
Yeah, I mean, another one I had thought of for a movie that's way too family is Hocus Pocus. I get people will tell you up and down that's a horror movie. I'm like,
Yeah, it is. It's just a horror for a young audience. So it's silly. If we did it, it'd be for the nostalgia sake of it. And it's, I don't know, I think we don't need a lot of nostalgia. I'm burnt out of remembering.
I was gonna say that there was way better kids horror movies. Are Scared Stupid scarier than Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is just a bunch of dumb witches.
And again, nobody dies. It never really feels like there's any stakes. No one ever really feels like they're in danger.
Excuse me, the guy in the furnace thing dies in the movie. W. Ready? Yeah, he dies in the beginning of the movie. Blights it. I don't even. I just remember Elton guy.
All I remember is the people dancing, and the idea, I guess, was that eventually they'll dance themselves to death, but none of them do. So who cares?
Similar theme with Troll, cult classic movie. You could argue that we should do it, but again, there's not really much happening.
The only thing we could really do with that is talk about how Troll and Troll 2 are two different movies. One's goblins, and they just needed the name, and one's an actual troll.
Yeah, it's not to say that it's not worth watching. A movie like Troll is definitely worth checking out. Just don't expect a lot. It's just a cool part of
I've never
horror.
seen either one.
See, honestly, like, be honest, I would say Troll's worth watching.
I kind of want to, if one of you guys suggested Trolls 2, I would be inclined just to see it.
Yeah,
because of that legendary scene that I've watched 200 times online.
Not the only scene in there that's worth seeing.
Oh, there's a lot of really funny things.
Oh my god, they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me.
I've seen that in compilations of like the worst scenes in movie history, and that makes me laugh every time.
Honestly, Troll 2 is chock full of other lines like that delivered equally as bad or stupid.
Bud the Chud 2 Bud the Chud is another one that I haven't seen that I would like to see just because.
It's Bud the Chud. Bud the Chud.
Chud 2 is Bud the Chud.
I've never heard of that.
It was supposed to be a George A. Romero zombie movie. They never picked it up for script, and then the guys that made the first Chud were like, "Oh shit, spec script, let's steal it." Also, so yeah, it's essentially a George A. Romero film. We should do the Chud.
Again, that's a movie. Any time that it turns into a movie that I already wanted to kind of watch anyway, I'm gonna be a happy guy of. But yeah, that more or less clears up that sort of the family-ish.
Yeah, these are all pretty serious movies. Even if someone, like, again, it's worth watching Gremlins 2. It's worth watching.
I think Gremlins 2 is a bad movie.
It probably is, but if you've never seen it, I still think it's part of something that is worth experiencing, even if it's only an hour and a half of your time.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big deal for that era, at least. It's had an impact on pop culture that's worth exploring.
For sure. I would just encourage people to Google the cool gremlin designs and be like, oh, there's the spider one, there's the gargoyle one, there's the
sexy
gremlin. It was so weird. And the one who's like a businessman. Oh,
he's voiced by Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's a weird movie, man.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I loved it, but yeah, I watched it later in life.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what was I on as a child? And lots of sugar, I guess.
You go from picks from like Antichrist to Gremlins 2. What the fuck is this?
I think we actually basically did do that.
Yeah, we did.
I think I think it was 1 or 2 episodes after we were on Gremlins and Critters.
Yeah.
And then yours Gremlins was 13 or 15 or something. I don't know.
Although some people have come up and told me since that they enjoy the variety, even though it feels all over the place. It is kind of cool that we picked such radically different movies.
Well, yeah, and I think we're all kind of we all enjoy horror, but we enjoy different things at different levels, right? Yeah. And art is always subjective, which it is. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that kind of puts a tap on that category. But yeah, the next category I wanted to go to is just movies that are fucking gratuitous and horrible and nasty just for the sake of it. And the reason I thought of that is because I'm not sure if I ever want to do The House That Jack Built. People who have seen The House That Jack Built will know why. Mm-hmm. It's like it makes Antichrist look like a trip to McDonald's.
Right.
So
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
that Grady likes. I like that.
The entire plot is just following a serial killer, and it's his 5 favorite kills that he ever did, and it's a bit. It's got real actors in it, and I think there maybe is something that it's saying. I remember I wrote a review in an article about it like a long time ago. First came out.
Yeah,
and. Yeah, I don't know if it's too much. It might be. There's definitely multiple child deaths in that movie. There is things being constructed out of dead bodies.
See, that sounds, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it. I should. That doesn't sound so bad. I guess it depends on how it's.
Yeah, I don't want to kill the whole movie for people who do want to see it, maybe. But the scene that I think was maybe the most horrendous was he takes a mother and her 2 sons out on a date, and then shoots her children in front of her in the woods.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it's so. I mean, what you're saying, we talked about this right before we started, Mike. You were saying that movies like even Human Centipede, there might be something worth talking about there, but really, it's just a gross movie.
Yeah, and my understanding is there might be some sort of bare bones satire somewhere in there.
I think so, but it's like,
I just. We have our lines in the sand, and for me, one of my lines in the sand is: are people eating shit in this movie?
I'm for it.
I'm against eating.
Yeah. Surprised the number of movies I watch where that's involved. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, having seen it once, I enjoyed it. The amount of depravity in it is up my alley, but I don't need to watch it a second time, and I certainly don't feel like discussing it.
No, and
even just up by that, it's like, why bother?
The second one is, I think, the most gratuitous way 3. That's my understanding.
Yeah, it's worse.
And I was like, I didn't even want to watch the first one because that seemed too gratuitous to me. So I definitely don't want to watch the second one or the third one where it's 500 people long or whatever.
The third one is kind of cool, but the second one is kind of not that cool. It's kind of gross.
Again, I've read the synopses of these because I've had one of the articles I was tasked to write at Looper was the 5 most disturbing movies ever made, and the ones that ended up on my list were Salo, Pink Flamingos, Serbian Film. I can't remember what the other 2 were, but yeah, I had to come up with 5. Yeah. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is not just to be like, "Hey, me, I'm so cool." Sure, but no, the reason I brought it up is because that's how I know everything that happens in these movies, even though I haven't seen them.
Yep.
Is because when you're writing about stuff, you have to have an authoritative voice, so you have to do the research, or else you're just gonna sound like a moron. It's like, well, like all 3 of us last episode, when we're talking about the actors we like in this movies, we can't think of
the fucking names of any of them,
or a single fucking thing they've been in.
Yep.
Yeah, so
that's how we roll.
Yeah. Speaking of Human Centipede, like Kevin Smith did that movie a couple years back called Tusk with Justin Long, where he turns into that counts, but it had to lie. That it's a lot different than what Human Centipede is. It's not just something to be gross. It's like a horror movie with a mad scientist doing fucked up shit.
And you could easily compare that to Human Centipede because they're almost like both of them are like weird guy animal fetish. Yeah, design person.
So much of it comes down to presentation on not necessarily what they're doing and how gross it is. It's how they're presenting the level of, I guess, absurdity or disgusting things they're doing. Like Human Centipede could have been a movie that is either much softer than it is, but equally it could have been even more disgusting.
Again, it's the description, like the description I read of the second one especially was like, I've read descriptions of all three, because I went through basically all the big disturbing movies when I was trying to write that article. It says that he wraps his dick in barbed wire and rapes a woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, and I believe like the movie starts with him jerking off to watching the Human Centipede. Footage from it.
Yeah,
It's like I'm like, you could keep it. It's not. I don't know. It's not doing anything. At least not for me.
No.
Those of you that love it, all the power to you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say take these off the market. Yeah, this did not for me, man.
Yeah, just things that for one reason or another aren't something we're gonna cover, but worth mentioning.
Yeah, and again, that leads to another one that is often considered a horror movie. It's a film called Salo, 120 Days of Sodom, and that movie is just I believe it's a group of like 8 or 10 Nazis. They abduct 40 teenagers and systematically just do increasingly horrible things to them for the entire like 2.5 to 3 hour runtime.
And like even just
Again, including shit eating, including making them have sex with their siblings. Yeah, these sorts of like
That's fucked up.
horrible, or making them piss on each other.
That's not fun. I mean,
And then the end of the movie is just them killing them all, and I'm just like, well, I don't. Again, I've read the synopsis, and I'm just like, I don't see how. Yeah, it's supposed to be this like takedown of fascism, but I'm like, okay, I don't know if we need and that goes to another great example. A Serbian film is supposed to be this politically motivated, but again, I've read the synopsis, and I'm like, I don't think we like. Excuse me, if you have kids listening, please turn this off, because this is probably about as gratuitous as it gets. But there's a scene where he rapes a baby to death in that film.
yeah, and so I don't care what your message is if that's what you're doing to get it across. Your message isn't worth it.
And
I'm sorry.
for that scene, the idea is supposed to be that the fascist Serbian government is raping you from the day you're born or whatever. Sure. But okay, I think there's maybe a better way. Here's a better metaphor where we're not literally just watching a baby get.
Yeah,
It's too disgusting. It's not. It's just too disgusting. And I don't want to see a movie where a man skull fucks another man either. Because that's the end of that movie, if I'm correct. Is he skull fucks the guy to death?
yeah, and I mean, we've talked and we will continue to discuss what is horror, and to me, there's nothing horrifying about that stuff. There's nothing about that scares me. It's just gross.
Yeah, it doesn't. What doing that scares me is that somebody thought to put that into a movie. There's a line.
I agree. There is a line of what decency should allow, but I also advocate for kind of doing whatever the fuck you want. There's a hard line there, at least as far as I consider it. I'm happy with people not having lines or boundaries. I'm just not gonna watch it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like I don't want these movies taken off the market. I don't want them. Like, I'm not saying ban them or censor them or whatever. Like I listened to Cannibal Corpse, and there was a lot of people back in the day who would say those album covers shouldn't be out loud and all these different things, right? Yeah, I was like, I disagree. Like, I think they just let them do it, and if it's not for you, then just don't watch it.
That's really what it boils down to. Just if you don't like it, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, and though that's why I think those movies are too gratuitous. I think they're just too much, way too much.
Agreed. I had already kind of just like when we started talking about doing this, there was a list in my head of like movies that I thought would be great for horror, but aren't necessary for one reason or another. And most of those films, especially Human Centipede, fall exactly into that.
the Sharknado movies, I know they're not really, they're more like comedy satire, but they're also really like stupid. And
I love them.
They're funny. They're fun, but like
I haven't seen any of them, but I know what they are, and I know they're very stupid. Like also like those Piranha movies. That's
the Piranha movies are really
good. I wouldn't mind watching them. I know these are. They're so silly, and to the point where, I mean, obviously Sharknado tells you already from the title that this is going to be really stupid.
Mm. There's a lot of fun stuff in it, but again, it's trying to sit down and talk about Sharknado for for any length of
That would, yeah,
we'd run out of time pretty quick.
yeah, I think we'd bad Milo it. I think we'd be like looking for stuff to talk about after 12 minutes. And oh no, we've made a terrible mistake. What do we do?
Well, I think Bad Milo. I think we were just shitting on it the entire time. We barely. So we
Speaking of movies about shit,
Yeah. Yeah, really.
like a little shit monster lives
I'm a shit monster.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there any other movies that you guys wanted to cover from that realm of
I don't think so. I mean, the biggest one that popped into my head discussing this was the Human Centipede. So with that, and a lot of those movies you listed, Mike, of those I've heard of a Serbian film like you. I read about it. I have no interest in watching.
No, yeah, you can be.
And the fact that I haven't even heard of the other one says enough that my taste doesn't really fall down those roads. I don't even know what half these fucking movies.
A lot of them I learned about first back in the day when I used to hang out on movie forums, Rotten Tomatoes movie forum. Yeah. We had, and people would start like threads like that. What's the most disturbing movie ever made? Or what's this kind of movie, that kind of movie? Yeah. And that's where you learn about, or where I learned about a lot of these movies for the first time. Yeah. And the ones that I think have value also, like I remember 2 movies that I watched as an adult that I almost had to turn off. Mm-hmm. And one was Devil's Rejects, and the other was Murders. And those movies I think I think they have something to say.
I'm surprised you. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I think these are movies that are saying something, at least, like, even though they're pretty horrendous and gratuitous movies, they have something to say, at least, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised to hear you bring up Devil's Rejects, but I know you love that movie.
It's a great movie, but it's the sexual assault scene in the hotel, and
that's what my main went to of it.
And her exploding when the semi hits her after after he puts her dead boyfriend's face on her face, and
fuck
that whole sequence.
Yeah.
After the semi hit her and she exploded.
Yeah.
I hit pause on that DVD. And I kind of walked around the room a little bit, and I was thinking about, like, I'm like, is this what I want? Is this the life I want?
Might do it. Want to continue down this road and put myself at hazard.
Yeah, and there have been times. I think everybody, when you hear about something fucked up when you're a teenager, you want to check it out.
Absolutely.
But I remember a moment where I had to make that choice, and I think I made the right one. Was that video that came out of the Marine or the soldier, I don't recall what his rank was or whatever. The Al Qaeda had shot a video of them.
He's the beheaded?
Yeah, the beheaded. And I started watching that video thinking, like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. Yeah. And then I got, as soon as the knife went in and they started doing it, I was like, nope.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a decision that, and again, no shame if you did, because it's out there. Maybe you're curious. I was. But yeah, sometimes you got to draw that line for yourself and say, before you go down this road.
Yes, I resonate with that deeply. Growing up in the Wild West of the internet age, I saw a lot of those videos. Like, you part of that experience as a teenager seeing that shit is exactly why I no longer feel like I need to watch movies like Human Centipede more than once, or like some of the more disgusting ones you've said. I've seen that stuff in real life, and it's not great. Yeah, so to see it emulated in a movie to that degree of reality, I just don't necessarily need.
No. Yeah. Me and Kyle were talking about one time before the Pain Olympics. We just lit up on the car ride to the one episode. We had a little discussion about Pain Olympics and stuff, and like how fucked up those videos were.
You seem like you don't know those.
No, I've never heard of that.
It's a lot of, I mean, it was popular enough in those circles at the time, but it's a lot of just self-mutilation shit.
Yeah.
And where it's a lot of the stuff you would see in movies, it kind of reminds me of some of the scenes in Hostel, the first one, where like there's the guy getting his eye burned out with a fucking torch. Yeah, the grossness of that, it reminds me a lot of what the Pain Olympics had pulled.
I'll agree with you there. Yeah. I think Hostel could have something to, it's hard to say. Cabin Fever is still his best movie, and that was his first movie, so I'm like, it just set such a low, it's actually, since we're talking about Devil's Rejects, the same thing happened with Rob Zombie. He was like, first movie kind of good, second movie pretty damn good, and then right off the fucking cliff.
I don't think, in Hostel's case, I don't think there was a lot being said in that one, but it definitely fits to a horror movie that I would bring up, because I don't know. Maybe I just don't remember. There's one really gross scene, but I don't think much of it beyond that is too bad.
No, I remember being a little surprised at
Yes.
how tame it ended up being, because in my head I was expecting it to get nasty. It was gonna get the only part, the part where she's got her eyeball out, that's he cuts it off of her, and then she throws herself in front of the train and everything. And I don't think that movie has very much to no, it really, maybe just like,
If you're into the gore porn shit, I guess that would be a good one to recommend if you haven't seen it, because it doesn't go too far down the path of real disgusting shit, but it really is just gross shit.
Well, I think Eli wrote it's either I wrote.
not just
I think he said in an interview once when he was traveling abroad, like staying at a hostel, there was people just disappearing all the time. I think that's where he got the basis. So talking to like that makes sense.
And that's always the easiest victims to pick off if you're into true crime, right? Is you look at transients are always people who are homeless, people who are traveling, sex workers. Those are often the most common victims of crime, because they're transients. Nobody misses them because they're far from home, or they're disconnected from anybody in their life, or no one's
Taking my hat off for all the prostitutes.
No, that actually reminds me of a great joke in season 2 of Peacemaker, when Vigilante says that he doesn't hurt sex workers. He's like, I would never kill a prostitute. Their lives are hard enough as it is. Yeah. Which I thought was such a very funny line.
It is a good one. It's very true.
Yeah.
So for ladies. Yeah. And men.
And everything.
And scene.
Yeah. Steve. We'll stop it later. Sure.
Oh, deal. Speaking of real life horror, yeah. So I guess that more or less wraps us on that topic. That would bump it next to the Cuspers.
The Casper. Sorry, before we go to that, what I was laughing at when you said the Antichrist McDonald's thing, what popped in my head was Happy Meal Antichrist toys. A break just to the dick.
Yeah, just a squished dick in your Happy Meal.
Well, I got this one already. Well, can we go to get more McDonald's?
I already got this dick one.
Yeah. Oh man, I was going to get the clip.
Yeah, I wanted to come up.
One of the peppers.
Damn, I needed the pear.
Yeah.
Okay, Cuspers. Cuspers. Okay, so there's a couple I wanted to mention. Movies for me obviously seem to have a theme. They're psychological, especially Lovecraft based. So there's a handful that I would love to cover, but for various reasons won't. Either.
Let me intervene, and I just want to ask. There's a movie that I keep looking at on my list that I'm like, I bet you Kyle's gonna pick this eventually. I just want to ask out of curiosity if this is on your list also. Invitation.
It is on my list.
I knew it.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it. It's on my list.
Yeah.
Too, obviously, just like The Thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Kyle will probably get to this movie eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So
That's such a good one.
yeah, The Invitation rules. Have you seen it? Haven't seen it?
Now,
Oh man, it's fucking good. That movie's amazing.
we're doing it. I don't care if you pick it first. It doesn't matter. But
Oh, that movie's amazing.
right. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Another Cusper would be Shyamalan's The Visit. With
that's
two kids going to their.
I would say, in my opinion, that one would count.
I don't think it's a cusper at all. Yeah.
Really?
I think it's a good one.
Because the naked old lady jump scare.
Boys. Yeah.
Like and these are grandparents trying to murder children. So I'm like, that is definitely counts as horror for me.
I would definitely dump on some of his work, but not that one.
Even Trap, I would say counts. That's a Cusper.
Which one?
Trap, the Josh Hartnett one.
I went in, I watched it because I do. I didn't expect much. It was pretty good.
I liked it. Yeah.
Cusper for sure, but
Yeah, that one would be that's when I would hum and haw.
Yeah.
If I was selecting it.
yeah, that one's a Cusper.
But so those are some of the movies. You had mentioned a couple of sci-fi movies also.
Yeah, so within the theme of Lovecraft stuff, and especially one of my favorites, Event Horizon, which we've done, there is a handful of early 90s or earlier films. The Abyss, The Sphere, both of those movies are very close in theme to not only Event Horizon, but have some pretty good Lovecraft themes too, just in the sense of, the fear of the unknown or cosmic origins. Also Underwater with Kristen Stewart. Okay film, and I think that's why I probably won't pick it. It's just okay.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't seen it, I hope this doesn't spoil anything, but it's got some pretty deep-rooted Lovecraft themes in it. But it was kind of a stinker. and I don't know if the ending was enough to save it, in my opinion. So it's a movie where you might be some people that think, oh, that's perfect. It fits exactly what you would be picking. I'm not gonna sort of disappoint everybody. Sort of disappoint all of you beautiful people.
Yeah, see, this is like, that takes us to certain creature movies too. Because you've got like Jaws, I think. Jaws is a horror movie.
Yeah, for sure.
However, very similar movie, Shadow in the Cloud with Chloe Grace Moretz, where she's an airplane pilot, and it's like basically that Twilight Zone, the gremlin on the side of the bus thing.
Yeah.
But she's got one on her plane. She's a World War II pilot or something. And, it's just her, it's just ripping the plane apart, and she's trying to kill it and before it rips the plane apart.
Yeah.
That one I wouldn't count, even though she is a person being faced against a monster. I'm like, there's nothing, but still, I don't feel any dread watching this or anything.
It's just similar thread. Movies that are already not intentional remakes of other movies or stories that have been done 100 times. Like the fucking gremlin on the plane is, man, it's been beaten to death. Oh yeah, like we don't need to watch a new version of that. We already saw the best one back when fucking
when Twilight Zone did it, and then Simpsons did their satire there to it with the gremlin on the bus. Oh my god, that's a great joke though. When he says there's a gremlin on the side of the bus, and Otto looks down and sees Hans Woolman in his car and smashes him off the road. That is such a fucking joke. Yeah. Oh, I'll get rid of him. Just smash him off the road. Poor Mole Man.
poor Mulder.
Things that feel kind of horror sometimes. The level of violence is Ren and Stimpy and Simpsons are a couple of shows where these shows aren't meant to be disturbing, but they go so far with it sometimes, like Homer's face melting off in that one episode where what's to be afraid of, Bert?
That's scary as shit.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, what the fuck?
Me too. Some of those Halloween Simpsons episodes were so good, especially when you're a kid, but also Itchy and Scratchy.
Itchy and Scratchy. Like it could get even in the non-Halloween episodes. That show could be the McBain, all the just gratuitously mowing down like 50 guys with the machine gun. And shit.
Bring up Ren and Stimpy, like them ripping up toenails and he's junking into the toe fungus.
And like
fucked up.
Ren's like manic anger. Like he's like demented.
He's like, oh, Stampy, oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like a lot of times it's just funny.
Yeah.
But there's other times where it's like, this is demented, man.
Mental breakdowns are sometimes awfully real. It's like, yeah.
When he's thinking murdering Stimpy.
Yep. I used to watch that show.
His hand shaking.
So I'm like, holy cow.
This is getting kind of intense.
Very.
Is this dog going to murder his sibling cat or whatever?
Yeah. Growing up, I had friends that weren't even allowed to watch that.
Yeah.
Because my parents were like, this is not for it's like an adult show, but it was made for kids.
Yeah, Simpsons was one that some people weren't allowed to watch when we were kids also.
Yep.
And then later on, South Park. For me, that didn't really come into play because I was already like 13 or something when that show started. So no one's trying to tell me not to watch, this show's too gross or inappropriate. I'm already like,
I'm 13 years old, can't nobody tell me what it's to do.
essentially, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we double check the final. What's the Espers and does it count is kind of where I am.
Oscar the Friendly Ghost. That doesn't count.
Speaking of movies that don't count, again, yes, we're doing ghosts in that movie, but it's way too silly.
Yeah. Also, that sounds like a porno about edging.
I'll tell you what does count, though. Even though it's also a horror comedy, Frighteners, in my opinion, counts.
I don't know what that is.
It's a movie with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
It's a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Horror comedy.
It's got Gary Busey in it.
That doesn't ring a
Peter Jackson made it, actually. Yeah, that's a Peter Jackson movie.
That
He was on a horror kind of drag around that time, yeah. He also did that Heavenly Creatures movie, that would be a hard one to quantify. That's the one, it's based on a real story. It's little Kate Winslet and little, what's her name, the other girl? The girl from Yellow Jackets and Melanie Linsky. It's both of them, I think, when they were kids.
Oh, okay.
They star in this movie. Like, that's kind of where they had their breakout. This Peter Jackson movie about two little girls who become friends and they kind of build a fake fantasy world for themselves, and then eventually it ends with them murdering her mother.
Oh, I know that movie.
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, it's based on that would be a cusper.
Yeah. Just because there's just not quite enough.
Well, because there's one death at the end,
Right.
and everything else. I as my understanding, I didn't remember it all that well.
Yeah, I mean, it just, you can have all those themes, but if there's not a certain level of darkness to it, I think you just miss the horror category.
Well,
And I mean, even like some of the movies like Abyss, there's plenty of horror in it, but it's just maybe not quite enough to hit where we need it to be to talk about.
yeah, and that can't help me the other day, that Requiem for a Dream thing that I tagged you guys in, because that made me think of that as an idea for a future type of this sort of episode.
Totally.
It shows that movies that feel like they're horror movies, even though they're not horror movies, they feel like it. And another one like that is Come and See. Yeah, no, those are Come and See is just war crimes, it's front to back war crimes. That's the entire movie. But that's a movie I think that has something to say, despite the fact that but Come and See is a movie you couldn't make in a horror movie, even though it's the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. It doesn't really feel like a horror movie. It feels like a very dark historical drama.
Right. I think Requiem for a Dream honestly might encapsulate that the best, because it is a very horrifying movie. There's tons of things in there, and there's a lot of darkness to it. And it's so close, and yeah, we could discuss it for, days on end, but it just does not quite fit. So close.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what makes horror interesting, is how there's so many different ways where everybody's always quantifying it.
Yeah.
And you're always considering, and I don't find that with other genres.
No.
Other genres are kind of just what they are.
They're kind of cut and dry.
But horror feels like all these, it's like metal music. That's which is a perfect zone. It is perfect. There's like all these different kinds of music, but metal, it's like, and here's your 200 subgenres.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's how horror movies kind of
like horror. Metal also is kind of like a dumping ground for things that just don't fit other genres.
Yeah.
Because like horror, metal encapsulates people from like Five Finger Death Punch down to like fucking Korn, or
Behemoth.
exactly, like the real heavy shit, all the way up to like Finger 11, right? Yeah, you Mike's favorite band.
Yeah, this is canon.
Speaking of terror.
So horror is very much like that, where it's a bit of a dumping ground for things that just don't quite fit other ways. All these things that are very much intended to be.
Yeah. And I think that I think people use it a lot because it opens up this world of possibilities where you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, if we haven't said those exact words on the show yet, we have definitely said those in person. Yeah, and like you're exactly right. Yeah.
Well, you can have an action movie with a monster in it and not be a horror movie.
Yeah,
but you can't have.
Those would be more cuspers Predators is a cusp movie too. So in my opinion,
one of the movies on my list is Prey, and I haven't picked it yet. So that's like the prequel Predator movie with the young native woman. But so I think. I haven't picked it yet because I don't know that it's horror enough.
Yeah, those movies. Despite the fact that a monster is stalking and killing people,
it's an action movie.
It just doesn't feel like a horror movie. Whereas, in my opinion, The Guest is a horror movie, even though it's half action drama. Mm-hmm. It still feels like a horror movie to me because it's basically following a slasher format.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the dangerous guy comes into their lives, and he kills his first person, kills his second person, and it's escalating towards the family. That is a very horror thing for me.
Absolutely. I think even, to take Predators or whichever and put it against Alien, those are both big creature feature movies.
But Alien's like...
Alien is horror movie through, and no one can convince anyone else otherwise. Predator is...
Even Alien 2, I mean, most of the Alien...
Alien 2 switched it up, and it's more action, but it's more action, yeah. But Alien, the first one, is an absolute horror movie.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people stuck on a ship with a creature that's slowly killing them. Yeah. Basically unkillable creature with acid blood.
Yeah, exactly. Some kid thought that up. It was like, my monster can't be killed, and he's got armor, and he needs acid, and he's got a mouth in his mouth, and his tail is a knife, and he's got claws, and he can crawl on the roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I mean, that is the ultimate nightmare creature. Absolutely. Because if I think of that is one of the best monster designs ever.
Xenomorph,
yeah, and Pumpkinhead is another pop. Yeah, you haven't seen Pumpkinhead? No. Oh, it's an 80s slasher movie where a guy summons a demon to get revenge. Sweet. It's fucking.
It's awesome. Like all the movies are revenge movies. The final one has to do with the McCoys, like the
Oh, the Hatfields and the McCoys.
yeah,
Nice.
And so one of the family finds the amulet that summons Pumpkinhead, and it just starts killing all the one other family, and then another. They kill the guy with the thing, and Pumpkinhead gets the medallion, sets free, and starts fucking around. It's really bad. Don't watch the last movie. The first movie's at least, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Hell yeah. The first two, I think I saw the first two as kids, and I think the first two were pretty okay. I think the first one's about like his son dies, is killed by like bikers or something.
Something like that, yeah. No, that might be the second one.
Oh, no.
We should do one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the monster design's fucking awesome. Anyway,
That was sweet.
He's literally a giant pumpkin man.
That's fucking
That's pretty fucking cool.
he's that one of the scariest creature designs I think I've ever seen. Is like, and that is he's very horrifying to look at.
nice.
I think the same people did the Wishmaster movies.
Okay.
If I could be wrong about
Which good effects in those too.
Yeah.
It's a shame about the rest, but
Yeah.
good effects.
And so exactly, those are, Wishmaster and all those other 80s films. They're definitely horror, but I'm not doing Wishmaster anymore.
Wishmaster is very. It feels like stupid on purpose. It feels like almost like it's stupid on purpose. Like the girl who wants to be beautiful forever, and he's like, granted, makes her into a mannequin. I'm like, come on.
I always loved the voice, man. Make your wishes. See? I love that shit.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. He's a really good actor. Yeah, like him. Without him, that movie would just be total. I mean, even more interesting than it is.
Here than it is, yeah.
I guess that more or less wraps us up for our first episode about episodes we're not going to do.
Yeah, this is a talk about movies you'll never see us do.
Yeah.
just watch. I'm gonna pick one of them.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the episode.
We're not allowed.
I actually Wishmaster. One of the Wishmaster movies is on my list.
It's the first one.
It's the first one.
Yeah. And I'd be fine to watch it. It's like it's got all those other horror actors in it too. Yeah. So it's a movie that justifies its place. It's just a very dumb, very very dumb fucking movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And Robert Englund just got his star on the Walk of Fame.
That one surprised me.
Good for
that one really surprised me. Yeah.
Which people don't know is the actor has to pay for that themselves.
I did know this.
Which
Yeah,
I think is funny after finding out. I thought they got nominated, which they do get nominated, but you pay for it yourself.
Pay for it, and they have to pay the upkeep on it as well.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Oh, California.
Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere that Robert Englund, the fans paid for his
His
star.
That'd be sweet.
That wouldn't surprise me because again, like horror fans are the most diehard fans in my opinion.
Really are. A lot like metal fans now that I think about it.
A lot of crossover. A lot of crossover between the two. So that wraps us up.
It does.
And now I have to awkwardly bounce it to myself because I got the next pick on the list.
Right.
So Curtis Hawkenworth. Like that's reminds me of the Toxic Avenger gag. Oh yeah, sticking out the dead body. Come here.
You have to say something to you.
Speaking of previous episodes, but yeah, so my next pick is what has often been selected as the most underrated horror film of all time, and it is a little cannibal thriller called Ravenous.
Cool. I've not seen that.
I don't think either of you have.
I know. I went into it not knowing anything.
Who's in it?
It's Robert Carlyle, Guy Pearce, and David Arquette, Jeffrey Jones. Which we'll get into that next episode.
Man, those are all awesome dudes. Robert Carlyle, Guy Pearce.
I love Robert Carlyle. He's one of the most intense actors I've ever seen.
Good. Yeah, he seems to be able. Like I watched him in the that Once Upon a Time show that was on TV, and it's a piece of shit show, but he's in it, and he fucking still nails it.
Yeah, I would consider watching just the scenes where he's Rumpelstiltskin because he's a very intense actor. I love Robert Carlyle. Anyway, until next week when we are talking Ravenous, we'll see you in 7 days. And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
yeah, no, that's the thing. We did the thing.